Hey guys, thank you for stopping by and welcome back once again to Weekend Learning with Kung. So I'm not here to teach anyone, I'm just here learning something and I just thought of sharing it to you guys also, and this is just a kind of extended learning session together with me. So we'll discuss about the main events of the revolt of 1857. So in my last video I have uploaded about the result of 1857, its causes. So if you have not watched that one, please go and check it out. The link is given in the description, because in history it's very important to study chronologically. It's like watching movie, it's like watching a war scene, and if you don't know how it began, means you will get confusion, you will not understand anything. So always go back from the beginning and come, so you will learn more in that way. So today we'll discuss about main events of the revolt of 1857, the results, and also the reasons for the failure. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so let's discuss first about the main events of the revolt of 1857. The first sign of unrest appeared as early as 1857 from Varekpur and Berhampur in Bengal, but it was soon suppressed by the British soldiers, and the rebels were punished. But the first outbreak of the revolt of 1857 happened from Meerut. It was in Meerut on 10 of May 1857. The Sepoys openly broke open the prison and released the prison comrades. It was spearheaded by the 3rd Cavalry, and they were soon joined by the 11th and 12th Infantries. Colonel Finnis, one of the English officers from 11th Native Infantry, was murdered, and soon the revolt spread out to many other places. So some of the places like Delhi, Lucknow, Bareilly, Kanpur, Agra, Jhansi, Benares, Bundelkhand, Central India. And in Delhi, they marched on 11 May 1857. And at that time, there was not even a single unit of European stationed there. And so they declared Bahadur Shah II as the Emperor of India. And it also spread to Punjab, but the Sikh rulers of Punjab were so loyal to the British that Sir John Lawrence, the Chief Commissioner of Punjab, have taken the revolt under control. So it did not spread out much in Punjab. So let's talk about the main centers of the revolt of 1857. Of course, it was a mass movement, it was a mass struggle, but the main centers happened mainly in 3 places and some other minor places. So here, the first 3 places are the storm centers of the revolt of 1857, and we have the minor centers below, Jhansi, Bareilly, Ara, and Faziabad. So let's discuss one after another in detail. Let's see first about Delhi. So in Delhi, the leaders were Bahadur Shah II, Pak Khan. They were the leaders. And Sir John Archtaley Wilson, Nicholson, and Sir John Lawrence, the military officers from Delhi, freed Delhi. Okay, so they've also arrested Bahadur Shah II, and he was given a life imprisonment, and later on he was sent to Rangoon, where he died at the age of 87. So literally, the recapture of Delhi and the death of Bahadur Shah broke the back of the mutiny. So that's about Delhi, and let's see about Kanpur. So the revolt at Kanpur is a long story, and Kanpur is one of the big cities in Uttar Pradesh, and what you see in the bracket Kanpur is the old name for Kanpur. Okay, so the leaders were Nana Sahib, Rao Sahib, Tantia Top, and Azimulan Khan. He was the advisor of Nana Sahib. So it was till 26th of June 1857, Sir Half Wheeler have defended Kanpur. But on 27th of June, the British have surrendered to the Nawab on the promise of safe conduct to Allahabad. but while they were living on a boat, they were all massacred. Not only that, but even the English children and women, after a short confinement, they were all murdered on 15th of July 1857, which came to be known as Bibikar Massacre. So all their dead bodies were dumped in a well in order to hide the evidence, which was discovered only after a year later. So that came to be known as a Bibikar Massacre. And yeah, Nana Sahib was finally defeated by General Havelock on 17th of July 1857 that led to the recapture of Kanpur. Yeah, Nana Sahib fled to Nepal afterwards, but on November 1857, the Gwalior contingent led by Tanjat Top recaptured Kanpur. And next, on December 1857, Sir Colin Campbell broke back the Kanpur under British control. So that's the story about Kanpur. Let's see about Lucknow. Lucknow is also one of the nerve center of the revolt of 1857. So many things have happened in Lucknow also. So leaders were become of Awadh, Hazrat Mahal and Ahmadullah. Sir Henry Lawrence and Colonel Nile were killed, but Lucknow was recaptured by Sir Colin Campbell on March 1857. It was only with the help of Gurkha contingent under the leader of Jang Bahadur that Lucknow was recaptured again by the British. So that's the story about Lucknow. Let's see about the Central India. So in Central India, the leaders were Rani Lakshmi Bai, who was the ruler of Jhansi, and Tandya Top. He was from Kanpur. So both Rani Lakshmi Bai and Tandya Top fought very bravely, and Rani Lakshmi Bai fought very bravely until she was killed on June 1858 in a battle. And Tandja Dop, he ran away, he escaped, but later on he was arrested again and put to death. So with that, the episode of the revolt of 1857 came to an end, and Lord Canning, the then Governor General of India, declared peace throughout India. Alright, so we also have some other men senders like Pereli. The leader was Khan Bahadur Khan. In Ara is in Bihar, the leaders were Kunwar Singh and Amar Singh. And in Faziabad, the leader was Maulavi Ahmadullah. Now let's discuss about the causes of the failure of the revolt of 1857. So here we have three main reasons. So let's discuss first the administrative reasons. So under administrative reasons, we have lack of planning, organization, and leadership. So there was lack of planning, organization, and leadership, and any action without proper plan, organization, and leadership is bound to be a failure. And the revolt of 1857 was no exception. For example, like it was supposed to start on 31st May 1857 as decided by Nana Sahib and his colleagues, but it started little earlier on 10th of May 1857 due to the incident at Meerut, where the soldier have to bite the cartridge, which is made up of the fat of cows and pigs, which led to the outbreak of the revolt of 1857. Little earlier than it was planned. So there was no proper planning, organization, and leadership. That way, it became one of the main reasons for the failure of the revolt of 1857. The unfortunate thing was that the Indian princes did not support India, rather they were on British side. Some of the princes like the Sikh princes of Napa, Pashala and Kapurthala, the ruler of Hyderabad and Gwalior. And Holkar and Sindhya were also very loyal to the British. So these were the reasons which led to the failure of the revolt of 1857. Let's see about the military reasons. So superior army, which means that the British soldiers were more superior than the Indian armies in terms of the manpower, the weapon they use, the resources they have. So the Indians did not have enough resources to fight against the British soldiers. They have limited resources in terms of manpower and money. But Britishers, they have so many advantages. They have telegraphic lines and postal communication, which made everything very smooth to function and operate. So they have a good backup from home country. So those were the reasons which led to the failure of the revolt of 1857. Now we have ideological reasons. So under ideological reasons, it is about the some classes of people which did not participate. They have because of their own reasons. Say like the middle class in some of the native states did not support the revolt. So the middle class did not participate during the revolt of 1857. Why? Because they have one reason why they did not participate. In India, middle class emerged as a result of the administrative policy of the British rulers. So even the very existence of middle class depends on the continuance of the British rule in India. So that is also one reason why they did not, that they did not participate during the revolt of 1857. And they were also enamored by the fact that only the English, they genuinely believed that only the English could take India to a modern age. So these were the ideologies they have, which led to the, failure of the revolt of 1857. So number one, we have end of Company's rule. So with the revolt of 1857, the Company's rule came to an end and the power was transferred to the Queen. So India came under crown rule. And the Board of Control was abolished. Board of Directors did not have power anymore and Secretary of State was to act as President of the Board of Directors. The title of the Governor General was changed to Viceroy. So Lord Canning became the last Governor General of India and he also became the first Viceroy of India. And we have changes in the British policy towards Indian state, which means that the British have assured to respect and honor the former treaty and agreement they have entered with the East India Company, and the doctrine of lapse introduced by Lord Dalhousie was also abolished, and also the continual existence of native states were also guaranteed. So those were the policy towards Indian states after the revolts of 1857. So next we have the end of Biswaship and the Mughal ruler. So both Biswaship and the Mughal rule came to an end in India. Nana Sahib ran away and the last Mughal ruler Bahadur Shah Zafar died in 1862. So with that, the great Mughal empire in India, which was started by Babur in 1526, came to an end. And next we have reorganization of the army. So the Britishers believed that the numerical inferiority of the British soldiers comparing to Indians were also one of the reasons that led to the outbreak of the revolt of 1857. So what happened after the revolt of 1857 was that they have increased their army. The ratio of the British soldiers have increased. And they have also developed advanced means of warfare and modern artillery. So that was about reorganization of the army. And economic exploitation of India continued. So India literally became the dumping ground for British manufactured goods. Next we have the policy of divide and rule. So during the revolt of 1857, both the Hindus and Muslims joined hands together, irrespective of their religion. They joined hands together and began to fight against the British. So that became a threat for their existence. So they began this policy called the divide and rule in order to break the unity between the Hindus and Muslims. Okay, so last but not the least, we have rise of nationalism. So the sacrifices made by some of the Indian rulers like Nana Sahib, Tanjat Top, Rani Lakshmi Bai, who became the national heroes, led to the rise of nationalism in India. Okay, so let's see the revolt of 1857 to 58 in a brief way here. It started on 10 May 1857 and continued till 1st November 1858. Result: British victory, end of Mughal rule, end of Company's rule, transfer of power. Territory of Companies changed into territory of British Raj. Casualties and losses: 6,000 out of 40,000 Britishers lost their life and 800,000 Indians or even more than that lost their life, not only from the revolt itself, from the rebellion, but also from famine, in which the revolt was the cause, and disease, in which the epicenter was the revolt itself. Okay, so that's all about the revolt of 1857 to 58, and we all know that the revolt of 1857 was one of the most important landmarks in the history of India because it was for the first time that all the Indians came together to fight for their freedom. And though the British historians have tried to justify by merely calling it as Sepoy Mutiny, but the Indian historians like V.D. Savarkar has strongly gave their view by calling it as the first war of independence. And many of the historians have also supported the view given by V.D. Savarkar that it was the first war of independence. So that's all about the revolt of 1857, and thank you for watching. and stay tuned for more videos.